I'm Andrew Smith from Treescape Certified Arborist. Welcome to this week's edition of the Green Review. Now, anyone with a piece of property has probably been frustrated with a stump that they're either tripping over or bumping their lawnmower into. And that leads to the age-old question of how on earth do we get rid of these stumps? Now, there's many methods that have been used in the past by homeowners, and we've seen them all. There's the age-old drilling holes into the stump and putting various chemicals down to try to speed up the rotting process, getting the chainsaw out, trying to carve it below ground a little bit, and of course this doesn't work because all it ends up doing is dulling up the chainsaw and frustrates you in that regard. There's always trying to dig it out by hand, but that's of course very back-breaking. We can certainly get an excavator in or a backhoe to rip it out, but that leaves all sorts of marks across the lawn and rips up the lawn and just creates a huge mess. So by far the most cost-effective, efficient, and most effective way to take care of a stump is to use a stump grinder. And certainly any local full-service tree care company would have such equipment to be able to come onto your site and grind out your stump. Now, the really nice thing about using this particular piece of equipment to get rid of your stumps is the fact that, typically speaking, they're a fairly compact machine, and they can get into tight backyard gates, so they can access the stumps in very hard-to-reach locations. They can actually grind out stumps that are located between certain hard surfaces like decks or concrete walkways or perhaps even your driveway. It can get in and actually very finely grind out a stump in and around buried utilities, and of course on that point it's always a very good idea to call your local utility companies before getting this work done to make sure that there are no underground utilities that we're going to be banging into. Another great benefit to grinding out a stump with this equipment is the fact that it's extremely environmentally friendly. Because we're grinding out the stump and a lot of the surrounding surface roots and in the dirt, it's actually creating quite a lot of mulch that's mixed in with dirt, and we can just rake a lot of this material back into the hole when we're done and let it just decompose back into the earth. And any sort of excess material that there is great to be able to put on gardens as a nice little additive or fertilizer. And again, it's just mixing back into the earth and decomposing and composting back. It's also very low impact on your property. The machine is going to target right in on that stump, the actual root flare, and any sort of surface roots that are protruding from the ground. And that's the only area that's going to be disturbed on your property. So when the job is all done, all you need to do is rake away all the extra shavings, put on some topsoil, dress it up with some grass seed, and within a season or two you wouldn't even know that there was a stump there. So it's a very effective method. Typically speaking, the industry standard when we're grinding these stumps out is to grind the stump and the surface roots about 6 to 8 inches below grade if you're just putting topsoil down with some grass seed over top. If you're looking at either planting another tree in the local area, or you're going to be building some kind of a structure that requires more of that stump to be gone, a lot of these stumping machines can actually get down as much as 2 feet or better in grinding out that area. So we can grind out a very extensive area if need be. It's certainly best to have a professional do the work for you because it requires specialized equipment with a trained operator. That being said, you can rent smaller stump grinders at your local rental center, but they're really only effective on fairly small stumps. And that's all the time we have for today's Green Review. Until next week, here's your point to ponder. The largest tree in the world is a giant sequoia in California named General Sherman. Now, General Sherman has a girth of nearly 26 feet, tops out at 275 feet, and is approximated to be at least 2,500 years old. Until next Friday, I'm Andrew Smith.
The Green Review is brought to you by Treescape Certified Arborists. We bring trees to life.